Today, we're making a few of my favorite burgers. So if you like cooking on the grill, and you love slicing up your favorite fresh toppings, stay tuned because these recipes are up next.
Maybe you like to put some lettuce on your hamburger. I know I do, and I like mine finely chopped. I also like tomato, and I like thin slices. Some red onion, and definitely some pickle. And what's a burger without cheese? But I think I gotta have some bacon as well. Now here I've got some 80/20 ground beef, and the secret to this hamburger is to grind it a second time. And I've got this old school grinder passed down to me from my grandparents that I'm using to grind this up and make it smoother. And what you end up with is minced meat. And I like to pull out close to about half a pound and work it into a nice smooth ball. And as you can see here, the consistency and texture is a lot smoother. Then all you got to do is press it down and turn and rotate the burger. Start working its shape into the size and thickness that you want. Maybe something like this. Then once you've knocked out a couple patties, you want to come back and treat it with some salt and pepper on both sides of each patty. And if you're not grilling, cast iron skillets are the way to go. But for the purposes of this video, I'll be using a cast iron electric flat grill. Pretty much what restaurants use anyway. But this will allow you to see everything that I'm doing all at once. Throwing down the burgers, the bacon, and also the buns. I'm using a Acacia roll. These are nice. Just make sure you cover them with butter. And make sure you get both buns. And then something else that I like to do is come back over the top of it with some olive oil. But that's just me. And just throw these down so they can toast as well. And what you're looking for is something like this. That's perfect. Now's a good time to flip the bacon, and after about 3 minutes over medium heat, you can go ahead and flip your burgers as well. Then immediately add your cheese, splash it with a couple ounces of water, and cover with a lid so that steam can melt it down. Now on the buns, I've thrown down some lettuce. We'll hit it with that red onion, that freshly sliced tomato, and of course our bacon. Now look at this. Does that look awesome or what? I like to hit mine with a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mustard, why not? Then I cover it with pickles. But you make it the way you want to have it. And there you have it. Double ground beef burger right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet kitchen.
Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients.
First thing you want to do is chop some onion, and we want long slices of some yellow and some red onion. We're also going to need some chopped garlic and some fresh parsley. And in a hot pan you want to drizzle some olive oil and start cooking these onions, because these are going to take the longest. We want to work on sweating them and getting them to a caramelized state. It's going to take approximately 20 minutes. Now here I've got a pound of ground bison. It's leaner and the cholesterol is low. The only downside, it's a little bit spendy. You want to just break it up like this. and get ready to season it because there's not a lot of fat content. I'm hitting it with some beef bouillon and a little bit of black pepper. Bouillon has plenty of salt, so we won't be adding any of that today. But all you want to do is roll out your hamburgers, flatten them out real nice, about this thickness here, and then what I like to do is lay it down into some wax paper. Then I can smash it with my hand here a little bit more evenly. And what you're going for is a burger a little bit bigger than the bun. That will help offset the shrinkage you'll get from the cooking. Now as you can see, our onions are coming along just fine. But we're going to go ahead and hit it with a little bit of sugar, sweeten it up a little bit of Italian seasoning, and our fresh garlic. It's a good time to go ahead and throw in that parsley as well. Then immediately follow with some beef broth, a little bit of wine, and you want to have this over a high heat so you can cook it off immediately. And once all the liquid's gone, it should look something like this. I just like to open it up a little bit and throw in some butter. And all you've got to do is wait for it to melt and stir it into the onions. This is a good time to throw in a bay leaf, because at this point you've pretty much added all of the ingredients that a French onion soup would normally have. And once you've given it one last toss, you can go ahead and throw it down on a plate and let them cool down a little bit. It's only going to take a few more minutes to cook our bison burger. Don't forget to butter our buns and throw those down on the grill. As you can see, I'm using an onion bun to help fit the theme. Now the burgers usually take about 3 minutes per side, but I like to flip back and forth twice to get those crossed grill marks like this. So I'm going to turn it over every minute and a half. And I'm going to do the same thing to the buns as well. Then I like to hit the bottom with some mayonnaise. And then we'll take this burger right over to a hot skillet. Center it up. And then I'm going to hit it with 2 pieces of Swiss cheese, immediately followed by some beef broth, and then cover with a lid so the steam can melt the cheese. And when it's done, it should look something like this. Then top it off with those French onions and give it a crown. And there you have it, French onion style bison burger right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet kitchen. Let's start by cutting some green leaf lettuce. Also, some red onion. And I've got a nice red tomato here. Let's cut some slices of that. Now instead of pickle, I'm going to grate some fresh cucumber. And I love fresh avocado on anything with turkey in it. So we'll cut some nice slices of this as well. And that'll take care of our fresh veggies. Now we need to butter our buns. And it's easier if you can keep these together when you toast them. Helps to flip them back and forth. Makes it a lot easier. Throwing them right down on the grill. Let them toast for a few minutes so they look something like this. Now as you know, sliders aren't very big. I mean, look at this bun. It's tiny. But by using a cutter like this, we can make sure that our burger doesn't get any smaller by oversizing our cuts. Now here I've got about 4 pounds of ground turkey. As you can see right out of the package, it's still pretty thick. So what I like to do is just pull some wax paper right over the top and apply pressure with my hands. If you like, you can even roll out your desired thickness. Makes it a lot more congruent and even. Now I can cookie cut perfect sized turkey burgers. And once you've cleaned out the in-betweens, just come back right over the top with some salt and pepper. Now you're going to grill these over medium heat, about 350 degrees, for about 3 minutes per side. And you want to watch for this gray coloring to work from the bottom all the way up until you're ready to flip. And I like to throw down a little bit of water on the back side of the grill, let it run all the way down to the front so we can steam these burgers a little bit. It isn't necessary, you don't have to do it, but it does ensure a tender inside with a cooked outside. And now it's time to pull them off the grill. Let's give you a close-up of this one here. Not bad. Now let's build a burger. Start with the bottom with a little bit of mayonnaise. Now we'll throw down our green leaf lettuce, our fresh cut tomato, some red onion, and we'll throw in our burger. Now we'll lay in that avocado, and we'll top it with that fresh grated cucumber. And we're going to top this turkey burger off with some cream cheese on the bun. Now you're probably going to want something to go with this burger, so make sure you check out my onion rings and my sweet potato fries at the end of this video. And there you have it. Turkey burger sliders right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet kitchen.
Here I've got about a 5-pound frozen bag of shrimp. Cost me about $7 per pound. Now I've already thawed a couple pounds of this. So you can see they've been deveined, the shells are removed, except the tails. So we're going to pull off all of the tails. Then add them all to a food processor. Now if you're from the South, you're definitely familiar with crawfish, shrimp, and crab boil seasoning. This stuff is salty and spicy. So we're going to add a little bit of that here for seasoning. Then get this all blended up till it practically turns into a paste. Should look something like this here. Now I'm going to grease this baking sheet. And I'm going to use an egg mold here to shape my patties. Just going to load it full, smash it flat. Then I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to flatten them both out with the back of my spoon so the patty widens. The patty should be as wide as the buns. Then we're going to add it to the freezer for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to slice up some Roma tomatoes. I also like to shred my lettuce up, taco style. Now we're going to need to beat a couple eggs. And you'll need a bowl of seasoned breadcrumbs or panko. I'm going to add a little bit of peanut oil to the bottom of this pan here. Just have a nice layer that we can start to preheat. Want the heat around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm going to set the stove around medium-high. By now our shrimp patties should be frozen, at least enough to hold their own weight. Yep, they're good. Now we'll go ahead and dunk one of them in the egg wash. Make sure it's fully coated on both sides. Fully coated, I tell you. Now we'll go ahead and add that to the panko. Sprinkle some more over the top. And work it around, maybe even flip it a few times till it's fully covered and coated. You might even want to press it in a bit with your hand, make sure it's sticking good. Something like this is perfect. Now we'll go ahead and add that to our hot oil. And I'm going to add a second patty without panko, so you can see how that fries up. We've got a double toaster here. I can put my buns in. And a cool little feature here, I can drop the two blades down and I can set it on bagels so it only toasts the insides. Should only need about 1.5 to 2 minutes here before you flip. You can see we got a nice golden brown. And the other patty looks great too. Nice and pink. And after another 1.5 or so goes by, you can go ahead and remove each patty from the heat. Drip dry that oil and lay it on some paper towels. Let them absorb all the remaining fat. Now here's how I prepare the buns. Mayonnaise on the top bun, cocktail sauce on the bottom bun. And I've got a great recipe for this in my shrimp cocktail and oyster shots video recipe. Now I'll add the crispy fried patty, and now the patty without the crispy crunch. Roma tomatoes on both, and the shredded lettuce and the mayo on the top bun. And we'll top the first one, and now the second with the top bun. Now you just got to decide, do you want to bite into the extra crispy or the regular? And there you have it. Poor boy style shrimp burgers right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet kitchen.